And we are back with all of our drivers getting ready for the start of the race. Jesus Sicilia and Jonathan Alvarez in front of everyone. The first line of drivers, horizontally wise, of course, and two great lines of drivers two lanes that we get to see going all the way back. That's spectacular.
Yeah, we have Manu Rey and David Perez on the second row, Victor Lobato and Victor de la Fuente, the Victor third row, Jose Manuel Sicilia and Adrián Baez on row 4, and Juan José Sánchez and Javier Carro in row number 5. Those drivers heading this huge entry list, this huge starting field as they wait just ahead of the 130-yard turn for the start of the event. It will be a 15 minutes race, but it's going to be a very exciting one. There's no time to lose, and there's a lot to win if you play your cards right.
Let's see how much the rage lasts, as well as the race, because it's going to be
exactly
interesting how they deal with the adrenaline. And there we go, already moving is the Porsche safety car in front of all the drivers. Jesus Sicilia that will have to start behind him, and not very far away from the starting line.
Yeah, in fact, we're going to have just 2 more corners. They are going to navigate the Keisha Triangle, the last chicane, the famous last chicane of the Suzuka corner, and then after that right-hander that is going to come up, the race will begin. And I think everyone is just as psyched up as we are for this.
And the pack starts to move. It seems that the pace car is already out of the way, but Jesus Sicilia was braking a little bit before the start. There we go, green flag. Jesus Sicilia already moving. Tactical move on his side.
Yeah, it almost looked like he almost jumped to start, or maybe Jonathan got a little bit too confident there and almost got overtaken. In fact, I think Manuel is going to try to overtake him for second.
Yep, and there it goes. Manuel Rey Largo already positioning himself in front of Jonathan Alvarez, Maven Motion Pictures, in a fight with Kinetic by Windstream in front of him, being followed by the car of Alca Products, driven by Jose Maria Sicilia. Might be the man. No, we have Jose Maria right there. Jose Manuel, sorry. Juan José Sánchez as well with Future Nissan chasing. In the middle of the group, Diego Bande Augusto with the police car from the first responders. Already some cars going a bit wide out of the track. Jesus Sicilia making space between them.
And that train of cars just bunched up in there. They're going to be careful this first turn on this first lap, indeed, to not get spun out by other drivers or by themselves.
Nice camera work right there. Thank you, Chris. We get to see the whole group go through that hairpin. Stefan Hauslichner with Be Social, the number 45, Gilberto Leine. We saw him in the practice session. Luis Santos today making his debut with us with Inato. A lot of new drivers, and it seems that we are going through in peace.
Yeah, very few incidents from this first lap, as contrary as we expected. They are just taking it easy and trying to see how things will be going. They are going to have a lot more attempts to actually battle throughout the evening.
Let's see how it went there. We already have a crash right here out of the R130.
Whoa!
Big crash, almost a red flag crash in there. Very complicated situation for a lot of the drivers to get over the difficulties. And we see everyone stuck in there. Oh my god, this is a big one.
I'm not sure how that started. There was a very weird looking crash. One car just got up in the air and somersaulted, and then it started a whole chain reaction. That was absolutely very strange, and it's probably going to need a hard look from the officials there. But we're seeing Manu Rey in second place, trying to keep up with Sicilia, who is absolutely taken off from the rest of the field. But yeah, that was very, very strange.
Bizarre situation. Before the Casio Triangle, we had all of our drivers and a big part of the group stuck in that arch right there. So let's see if they're able to get back on track. A big space between the second group of drivers, almost 20 drivers in front, and another 20 drivers or 30 drivers behind them. We can see that mini-map on top, how it's divided in distance between those two big groups of drivers, the ones that didn't have to deal with the crash and the ones that did.
Yeah, in fact, we have Victor Lobato out of the race. Remember that he started 5th on the grid, and then also Javier Carro was the second driver to retire from the event. He was a top 10 starter, so a couple of early big name out of this competition. And then a very good battle just behind Adrian Baeza, who are trying to make their way up the order.
Well, they have a little bit more to do yet today, so they've might not give everything for a lost cause. Victor de la Fuente, Ocean Landing, chasing a lot of cars. David Perez right now, 3 cars in front of him. Jonathan Alvarez, Manu Rey Largo, and Jesus Sicilia with a 2-second gap between himself and Manu Rey Largo with Kinetic by Windstream, heart-to-heart international with Jesus Sicilia. It's going to be interesting to see how that gap goes through.
Sicilia has lost a second and a half in that last lap. I don't know what happened. Maybe he had a little bit of a mistake on some part of the racetrack, but he lost some of that lead, which is obviously still very huge. Look at Alberto Toribio, who's up to 8th, another driver that didn't have the greatest qualifying ever, and he's now just on the coattails of Juan Jose Sanchez for 7th.
Yeah, and he's doing right now a good job to stay in the chase with Juan Jose Sanchez, Future Nissan, and the Red Rock Chocolate Factory right now in the middle of the camera, in the middle of the screen. We can see them chasing as well Jose Manuel Sicilia with Alpauto Paints. And we're going to do a little bit of a sum up in Spanish, if you don't mind, Adri, if you don't mind doing the honor of letting our viewers in Spanish know how everything went in the start of the race.
Of course I will. Para nuestros amigos que nos están siguiendo en esta carrera, les hacemos este breve resumen en español de lo que ha ocurrido en estos primeros minutos, que han sido una auténtica locura, no tanto en cabeza, porque Jesús Sicilia se mantiene al frente del evento desde la pole position, está perseguido por Manu Rey, que de momento intenta mantenerse cerca del líder sin mucho éxito de momento, pero aún quedan muchos minutos por delante, con Jonathan Álvarez, David Pérez y Víctor de la Fuente completando ese top 5. Habéis podido ver que hemos tenido un accidente masivo al final de la primera vuelta, antes de la chicane Casio. Varios pilotos se han quedado fuera de carrera, entre ellos Víctor Lobato, que era uno de los grandes favoritos antes de este evento, es uno de los pilotos que ha tenido que abandonar, y de momento a falta de 8 minutos y medio así está esta situación de momento, con Sicilia al frente del evento, camino de la que sería otra victoria en la espectacular racha que lleva dentro de este campeonato.
Pues efectivamente, y llevamos un trío en cámara ahora mismo interesante. Manu Rey Largo, Jonathan Álvarez, David Pérez, muy juntos los unos con los otros. Va a ser esta es las batallas que vengo yo buscando, como que
que venimos viendo los que somos fans de las carreras y del sim racing también, close quarters, ahí siguiéndose de cerca y buscando el fallo del rival, que al final muchas veces se consiguen más estos adelantamientos por presionar al rival a cometer un error que por llegar a hacer una maniobra como tal.
Pues sí, muchas gracias por el resumen, Adri. Vamos a continuar con la carrera, vamos a comentar a nuestros espectadores en español o en castellano, como más te guste, depende de donde lo estés viendo. allgratefulhearts.org, la página web que quieres visitar. Todo esto está siendo gracias a nuestro sponsor, el sponsor para esta semana, Red Rock Chocolate Factory, así que muchas gracias a Red Rock Chocolate Factory por hacer esto posible. visitar la página web de allgratefulhearts.org para poder comprobar las rifas y para poder participar con los tokens que os den participando en las rifas en ese jackpot. Si conseguís acertar 6 números de esos 6 elegiréis 4 y los 2 últimos se elegirán aleatoriamente. Si tenéis suerte, ya sabéis, ya llegamos ahí al primer contacto entre Jonathan Álvarez y David Pérez. No sé cómo ha ido ahí exactamente la cosa. No sé si ha sido David Pérez exactamente el que ha tenido el contacto con él.
Era David porque estaba justo detrás de Jonathan. Creo que ha frenado un poco más tarde de lo que debía, menos me ha dado esa impresión a primera vista y se lo ha llevado un poco puesto, no lo justo para obligarle a cortar la chicana y caer al quinto puesto. De hecho ahí estaba haciendo precisamente Jonathan las luces a Víctor de la Fuente y bueno, imagino que no estará muy contento el piloto del 34. Ahí no ha habido chocolate del bueno ahí.
Sí, creo que ha conseguido dar las luces para cuando estaba ya detrás de Víctor, queriéndoselas dar a David. David que deja pasar a Jonathan después de darle ese empujón, dando ahí haciendo un gesto de clase, y eso es lo que nos esperamos de nuestros pilotos, que tengan esos gestos reconociendo pues que ese toque no ha sido lo idóneo. Desde luego que no. Jonathan, que se le veía que no estaba muy contento con ese guiño de luces, pero todo continúa rodando y a alta velocidad, tenemos que decir, porque Víctor de la Fuente se ha conseguido posicionar delante. Empieza la persecución entre Víctor de la Fuente y Manu Rayo Largo, Jonathan Álvarez y David Pérez, que se van a tener que tratar de mantener en ese ritmo, así que va a ser interesante ver cómo acontece todo esto. Mucha suerte para todos los que participéis en la rifa y en el jackpot, y os recordamos que estáis viendo esta carrera gracias a la plataforma que estamos utilizando, que es iRacing. Muchos de vosotros ya la conoceréis, pero los que no lo sepáis, esto es un simulador, no es una carrera de verdad. Quizás estáis pensando lo contrario, porque casi parece de verdad hasta cierto punto, así que sepáis que la única diferencia es que aquí no se hacen daño a los pilotos y que nos cuesta muy poco meter un coche nuevo en la pista cada vez que destrozan alguno contra la pared. Así que gracias a iRacing por ello, gracias a todos nuestros sponsors, y continuamos en inglés con vuestro permiso, volveremos en español. Manu Rayo Largo in the middle of it, trying to close that distance with Jesus Sicilia, but it's not an easy task. Already drivers in front of Jesus, the Heart to Heart International, leading throughout the whole race, doing it again. Adri, I don't know if he's going to be able to do it again, but Manu is having trouble.
Yeah, he's pushing maybe a little bit too hard and almost got out, trying to catch up with Sicilia, which is pretty difficult at this stage of the race. Just 4 minutes to go. He has to think long venture and trying to take second place as it is, because it's a very good position. And Víctor de la Fuente, obviously the beneficiary of this contact we had earlier between Jonathan Álvarez and David Pérez. He was 5th and now he's 3rd, and trying to hold off to those 2 drivers for the final podium spot.
Yeah, exactly, that's the way it went. Víctor de la Fuente waiting for the moment to take advantage of the duel that is going on between David Pérez and Jonathan Álvarez. Maven Motion Pictures, Alca Products with David Pérez, Maven Motion Pictures with Jonathan Álvarez, and Ocean Landing in front with Víctor de la Fuente. The number 25, the number 34, and the 19.
And we're seeing more movement just behind. We see Antonio Jesus Villalón emerging into the top 10, one of the drivers that had very good performances, either at the Nürburgring or Sebring, that is starting to have his head a little bit up the order.
Just 2 races ago that we had Antonio with us, and look at that bump draft right now from David, trying to catch up with Víctor through Jonathan Álvarez.
I don't know if that's gonna work.
Let's see. It worked.
Yeah, he did.
It worked. David Pérez does it just as you said. We're gonna have those passes in there. Jonathan Álvarez recognizing the situation, letting the space for David, and doing so very well, because right now I think he's gonna have a better chance to go up behind David, because David is showing a pace right now.
Yeah, and he kind of he was a bit naive getting to the turn because he was just in the bumper of Victor de la Fuente. It didn't look like he tried to make the move, and then David saw the opportunity, saw the gap, put his car onto the spot, the empty spot on the inside that he had left, and took fourth place. Well, he looks very active and trying to take the podium away from Victor de la Fuente.
You can see that Victor is pushing to try to impede that from happening. It's going to be complicated for him because we see David Perez going with a fierce pace behind him, the number 19. David Perez with Alca Products, Victor de la Fuente, number 25 with Ocean Lending in front of him. Nice duo right here.
Was a little bit wide on the exit of the corner and almost gave room for the pass for David, who is pressuring him very, very hard.
And they are doing very well, I have to say. The three of them top-notch quality drivers from what we've seen, and it's quite a joy to see them fight in this three-way fight that they have ongoing right now. David Perez going for the overtake.
Yeah, he's gonna make it in the 130R, even before. Yep.
There we go.
That's P3 for him. Very, very well done. He had a lot of momentum exiting the spoon corner, and he just made the pass look easy. He was absolutely working for that pass all lap longer, and maybe Victor can take also the spot from Jonathan. Oh, he does.
Weird swap of drivers right there. It seems that they are coordinating themselves right now. Jonathan Alvarez is going to try to do the chase behind David Perez. He's going to give it a go. Victor de la Fuente recognizing that he might not be having the pace he wants to close that gap with David Perez, but Jonathan Alvarez goes for it. Maven Motion Pictures chasing Alca Products right now in front of him. The number 19, David Perez, in front of the two gentlemen that we've been watching.
Maybe he realized maybe that he was not having enough pace and actually let the other driver by so as to not risk being bumped out on the last lap, because it is a weird moment to do that, just starting what is going to be the second to last lap, of this race, unless he thinks that if he lets the two of them battle as it happened before, maybe they can touch again and he can take advantage of it. So it's an interesting. Oh, look at that, he's going in.
Back again is Jonathan Alvarez. David Perez having to let Jonathan go through. Doing a great move. Is Jonathan? I don't know.
On the inside on that corner, he ran up very wide, David Perez there, and they also go very wide here, but they don't lose the racetrack. But then he was very off the racing line.
Up to a point. It seems that they are trying to coordinate themselves to see who gets to close the gap between themselves and Manu Rio Largo. I don't know if they are changing turns or what's happening there, but it's interesting. Jesus
Cyclist.
Yeah. Jesus Cifilia still in front with Heart to Heart International, the number 8, Manu Rio Largo, and number 2 with Kinetic Bike Windstream closing the distance a little bit, 2 minutes and a half to get to the end of the session, and I don't know if we are already done with this one.
Yeah, it looked like he made a movement. Maybe that's it. Yeah, they are lifting at the end of the next straight, so maybe the race is over. We had the banner of 2 to go, but I think the checkered flag has gone out.
Yeah, I think we are already done, if I'm not wrong. Let's see how the cars move. Sometimes the interface gets to update a bit later, but there we go with Stefan Halbleitner going through the Casio Triangle as well. A lot of our drivers finishing the race, and there we go with the top 10 finishing. Yeah, it is confirmed. Jesus Cifilia first, Manu Rio Largo second, Jonathan Alvarez third. That's the top 3, and if you want to keep going, Adri, if you don't mind.
Yeah, of course. David Perez has finished 4th, just behind that podium spot in this the great scaffold they had for the podium place. Victor de la Fuente finishes 5th. 6th place for Jose Manuel Cifilia. 7th place for Juan Jose Sanchez. And then the rest of the order going down to the top 10. Very good placing for most of those drivers and those great battles they had for taking those points that are going to determine the final order of this event. Remember that they have 2 more races before this one, after this one, sorry. And yeah, I think they have a lot of pending issues to resolve on the racetrack.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how it goes in the second round. We will be back with the next practice session right away after a little break. Please stay tuned and keep enjoying racing with us. See you right away.